Good. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome here to Crans Field in Blair, Nebraska for the penultimate home game in this Blair 2025 season. Brian Abrahams alongside Dan Dahlgren here as the Bears get set to take on the Seward Blue Jays. Bears still looking for their first win of the season, while Seward will enter tonight's contest with a record of 4-2. Dan, good to be back with you. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays and the matchup. What are we looking for here tonight?
Yeah, good to be with you, Brian. I mean we're facing another ranked opponent, but at least somebody who's struggled a little bit and losing a couple of games early in both games with Waverly and Gretna East, but coming out on the short end. 4 good wins since then. Their schedule's kind of not in sync with Blair's facing the Elkhorn Norths and stuff. It looks like it's maybe different opponents. I guess I'll just leave it at that, right?
Yep.
But again, quality programs you're just not seeing Bennington in this every week, and we have. So, Blair coming out. It looks like Blaze's Bauman is back. So in some capacity, we'll find out. But Blair hungry for a win. We know it's been a tough schedule. We're a young squad, and like I say, I think we're set for a pretty good one.
Yeah, just to point out as we get set to kick it away, it'll be Brecken Matzke doing the kicking, McCabe and Sputney back to return for the Bears. Lincoln Pius, Scottsbluff, Lincoln Northwest, and Grand Island Northwest are the wins for Seward this season. As Dan mentioned, they lost to Gretna East and to Waverly to start the year. So they have won 4 in a row, and as I mentioned earlier, the Bears are 0-6. This will be taken on the 20-yard line by Smutney on the run, and he's out to about the 30-yard line before he's dropped. That's where the Bears will have it to start their first drive of the game. We'll get a look at the Bears offense. Dan mentioned we saw Blaze Bauman going through warm-ups with the first-team offense. He's been injured the last couple of games, so we hope to see him out there. The offense is completely different, in my opinion, when Blaze is healthy and he's able to contribute.
Yeah, Blaze, a talented young man, and like I say, I don't know how much we'll see him or when we'll see him or in what capacity, but it looked good to see him down there in Paxton.
Looks like it won't be on the first play as the Bears will go 5 wide. Leggett from the shotgun. Now it's an option here to the near side. He's going to pitch it to McCabe, and Collins not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Nice job there by Seward, shedding the blocks and making a tackle behind the 30, back at about the 29-yard line. It's a loss of 1.
Yeah, that one kind of hinged on Hayden Daggett's block out there, and unfortunately his guy, kind of read that pretty quick and got inside him, and Hayden chose to, stay off his backside, right, which they're going to call right in front of the line judge, but, maybe just hit a little late.
Bauman is out there on second down. It's 2nd and 11. They're going to toss it to Blaze off the left side. Got a pulling guard out in front of him. Bauman gets around one man. He's able to get back to the 30, maybe got the 31, 32-yard line. It'll be a pickup of about 3. Sets up third down here for the Bears. It'll be 3rd, and we'll call it 8.
Yeah, Blair, a little simple little pitch action and trying to stretch the field a little bit over there. And that's really where we like to see Blaze running. He's pretty good cutting back, and he's got the speed, to kind of hit the corner. He chose to stay behind his blockers there and pick up a few yards.
Bauman comes off the field here on third down as he's replaced by Carson Fowl. 3 receivers to the right side of the formation. Leggett from the shotgun. Fowle's right next to him. There's the snap. Brevin's going to roll to his right. Looking downfield. Has plenty of time. Fires it out here in the flat. It is caught at the 43-yard line. The catch is made by Luke Donner. Nice little pitch and catch there. The Bears pick up a first down. They'll keep the chains moving.
Yeah, and we've talked about this when we've done our games here at home. And listen, Brevin is got good mobility, right? So just that little sprint out of the pocket gives him time, right, versus trying to force a young kid to read a defense. And it's tough. It's tough in college. It's tough in the pros. So I really like the action.
It's 1st and 10 now for the Bears from the 43. Ball on the right side hash. They're going to swing a wide receiver screen out there to McCabe. Plenty of blockers out in front of him, and Collins sprints across the 50 to about the 48-yard line of Seward. Going to be, I think, just shy of the sticks. And, well, yeah, they started to move him for a second there. It's going to be second down and about a yard.
Yeah, and we pointed this out in our last home game. And listen, Colin McCabe is playing good football, folks. And like I say, he's really getting comfortable in his role. He like I say, he initiates, gets hits, gets yak, gets yards after contact for you folks. But like I say, he's playing good football, and I think he'll be a pivotal part of this game plan.
2nd and 1, now in Seward territory at the 48. Leggett under center. He's going to hand it off to Bauman. Blaze sidesteps one defender in the backfield. Couldn't get past the next two. Got a little bit of forward progress here to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to set up 3rd down.
Yeah, just didn't open up for Blaze. Like I say, I don't know. Maybe not 100%. I don't know. Like I say, we don't know the extent of the injury. We think it's to his right shoulder. That was certainly what was being iced when he went out of the game a few weeks ago. So, like I say, it closed up quick, and again, a lot of guys in the box there. So, basically sitting in the same position they were on 2nd down.
It is 3rd and a yard. They'll bring Fowl back into the game in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right, and they're going to hand it off. Pardon me, that's not Carson Fowl. That's actually Andrew Smutney that's lined up back there, and he leans forward, stuck the football out, and I think got a 1st down. Tough yard, but he got it.
Yeah, good effort. He was pretty much engaged about a yard behind the stick, and just didn't go down and lunged forward and got the 1st down. So good effort by Andrew.
Yeah, Bauman runs out the bench and takes the play into the huddle there. I think you're right, Dan. It's still maybe not 100% because that typically in week 1 or 2, that's a handoff to Blaze all day long. So obviously the Bears just trying to be careful with their usage of him. He's back out there here on 1st and 10. They're going to hand it off to him. Bauman's going to try the left side, and really not going to have a chance to get going as he's chased down from the backside. That's Kyle Riley with the tackle back near the 50. It'll be a loss of 3 on the play. It sets up 2nd down.
Yeah, a little. I don't know if it was a stunt or just a quick read by 62, and it developed a little bit slow. You hold that ball in his gut a little bit, right? Because you can also pull that thing out and do a little play action and didn't pull it out, left it in, and like I say, Seward kind of read it and was on the backside and just didn't give him the space to get going.
So they lose 3 on 1st down. It's now 2nd and 13 from the 50. Ball on the left side hash mark. They will fake. They're going to give it to Carson Fowl. There's that same play, Dan. A little bit of a mesh, kind of a zone read, maybe a run-pass option, and Fowl is dropped all the way back at the 45-yard line. They'll lose 5 more. It's going to set up 3rd down and a bunch. It's 3rd down and about 18.
Yeah, it looks like they're at this point they're not going to give a lot of respect to the passing game. So at this point they're sending 5 or 6 people, and it's pretty much jailbreak. And the 2 running plays just couldn't develop. There's basically people in the backfield, and you got 5 blocking 6, and you better do a really good job to keep them out of the backfield. So we'll see if they move that pocket.
Now you're off schedule. Let's see what they do on 3rd and long. They're going to try and get it out here in the flat to Smutney. He makes the catch, but he's dropped almost immediately. Andrew got to the 46, maybe the 47-yard line before he's tackled. And what looked like a promising drive there for the Bears offense has stalled out. They're going to punt it away.
Yeah, Seward kind of keeping everybody in the box, really. They've got 10 guys in the box on that play, so even short passes in or on around the line of scrimmage is pretty easy to defend. Blair's just going to have to look down the field a little bit there.
Luke Donner's going to punt it away. It's a high punt. Fair catch is called for and made at the 18-yard line by Seward. It looks like Jack Vanalik out there, their star receiver, with the fair catch, and now we'll get a first look at the Bears' defense up against this Seward Blue Jays offense.
Yeah, Brian, we talked a little bit before we went on air, and it's like, well, what does Seward do? Well, they do a lot of the same things Blair likes to do, right? They run out of that spread a lot, most all the time. They like to run the ball a little bit. Volanek, you just mentioned, is a Division I kid. And I think you'll be calling his name a bit. He goes and gets balls as well as anybody we've seen play this year.
So the Blue Jays with their starting quarterback, Kason Salyer, out there. They'll hand it off on 1st down. bouncing off the tackler and around the edge to the 30, slipping past another man, still on his feet to the 40, and almost, he's still on his feet and inbounds at Blair territory. I thought they had him knocked out at the 50, but he stayed in. What a run. That's Peyton Else with the carry. We do have an injured Bear all the way back at the line of scrimmage, but a huge pickup for Seward on their first offensive play.
Yeah, pretty good job on Seward up front, at the point of attack. And like I say, Else just really patient, right? Just ran behind his blockers, accelerated when he got out in the open space, and he more glided folks than he ran, right? And big play to start this series.
Yeah, and really hard to see, obviously, from our vantage point all the way across on the opposite sideline. But it looked like he was tiptoeing that sideline from about the Blair 40 to 45 all the way down into, or from the Seward 45 all the way down into Blair territory. He took it all the way to the 33. They're still tending to the injured Blair defender down there back in the backfield. And the good news is he's up on his feet. Not sure. Looks like it might be Colin McCabe, actually. That would be a blow to their offense as well if that's the case.
Yeah, but back on that play, it did look like Blair had a pretty clean shot at Else on about the 35-yard line. And,
yep.
And actually it wasn't a high tackle. He went in, shot in, and just kind of bounced off him. So it might let you know kind of what the power the kid has. So.
Well, we might find out here if they hand it off to him again here on the second play, first down again, from now the Blair 33. Yeah, it's not McCabe. It's actually Andrew Smutney that came off the field.
That's who I thought it was. I just didn't want to talk over
you can feel free to correct me, Dan.
Well, his hand was over the 8, folks. You couldn't see.
They'll hand it off to Else, and again, there's that patient running style as he bounces it out onto the edge, tiptoes the sideline again, all the way inside of the 10. Boy, such great balance. I thought he was out at the 15, but he's inside of the 10 to the 3-yard line. Dan, you talked about just such patient running and setting up those defenders off of blocks and also giving himself room to move. It's first and goal.
Yeah, he's a chopper, right? So he's not lunging, he's not slowing, he's not speeding up. He just runs over his feet, folks, and it's just like I say, it's a pretty powerful position. If you're gonna hit him, you got to wrap up. You got to get him on the ground. Otherwise, he tends to bounce about 2 yards and keeps going. So Blair going to have to tighten that up a little bit, I think.
Seward lists him at 200 pounds, and you got to think they'll give it to him here. He's gotten you all the way down inside of the 5. They hand it off, and he is in, basically untouched off of that right tackle. Well-executed opening offensive drive there by the Seward Blue Jays. They march little over 80 yards in 3 plays. 5:49 still left to play in the first quarter. Seward leads it now 6-0.
Yeah, Blair really no answer for Else. I think we watched 4 plays, and it was in the end zone. So I'm sure the defensive coordinator would be scratching his head there and would say, well, we just simply got to tackle better, right? I mean, he's a big kid, but and he runs well, but you got to get him on the ground. Whoop,
there's a fumbled snap on the extra point. Blue Jays got out of there with it, however. The ball is thrown, and it's incomplete. Good heads-up play by Salyer just to get it thrown into the end zone, but no good on the conversion try. 6-0 your score after the first drive for either side. We'll step away for 30 seconds, and we'll be back on BSDN Live. Welcome back here again to BSDN Live. 5:49 left to play here in quarter number 1. Each offense has had the ball once. Seward leads it 6-0. The Bears now back to receive. Seward won the opening toss, by the way, and decided to kick it away. Now the Blair offense ready to go to work again. Siebert gets his foot under it. It's a high kick. Caught at the 20-yard line, out to the 30. It's McCabe being spun down at about the 35-yard line. Good return there by Colin. Again, pretty good starting field position here for the Bears. See if their offense decides to open things up a little bit more. We saw Seward focusing on the run on that first drive, and it really proved beneficial to him.
Yeah, I mean, I think Blair's just going to have to do that. The line of scrimmage was a little bit of a problem last time, and you're going to have to stretch them or loosen them up down the field. And so, yeah, I think that's – I don't think you have much choice right now.
They'll put Leggett under center. Sends a man in motion. It's a toss to Bauman. Blaze trying to get the edge here on the right side. Did a good job. Gets across the 40 to the 41. That'll be a gain of 5. Best toss play we've seen from the Bears so far. Sets up second and about 5.
Yeah, nice little run by Blaze. Also patient on that run, and took what was given to him and got us the last yard himself. So that's kind of what we've grown to expect out of Blaze. And like I say, he's missed two games, I think, since he went down, and so have to kind of get back in the swing of things. And like I say, see if Blair doesn't open this thing up just a bit.
Bauman stays in the backfield on 2nd and 5. They will hand it off to him again. This time it's the left side. Bauman sidesteps a man in the backfield. He is into Seward territory. Going to be finally wrestled down at about the 41-yard line. It was good blocking initially, but once Blaze got past the linebackers, hang on a second. There's a flag thrown on the play, and it's a holding called on the Bears. So I take, well, it was still a good play, but the yards have to come back.
Yeah, I didn't see the hold. We were watching Blaze, and it almost looked like it was kind of behind the ball too. So maybe somebody engaging just a little more than they needed to. But I don't know. It's tough. You know, we've had this talk all year, and we had it last year. Holding is such a odd thing to call nowadays because you're allowed to grab. You just can't impede progress towards the ball carrier or laterally. And I'm going, you know, back in the day, you just didn't grab. So if you grabbed, it was holding. But now you can grab. You just got to let go at the right time, and it's kind of changed the game.
Sets up 2nd down and about 15. They'll toss it to Bauman again. Blaze cuts it back, and he's met by a couple of members of that Seward defense. Got it back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a yard, all the way back to the 32-yard line of the Bears. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 14.
Yeah, I've seen enough of this year's Blair team to know I got a 6'5" tight end, right, and he can run, right. Good kid, good basketball player. Go up there and catch balls, and I know I got a wide receiver, a couple of them, right, that run well and run good routes. So I think you're going to have to get down the field a little bit.
And on 3rd and 13, not a great recipe for your sophomore quarterback. They're going to run a screen, and Dan, they tried to get it to your favorite tight end. Meyer made a really good catch, but he's dumped immediately. Almost looked like a screen they were trying to set up for him there.
It was, and like I say, I think that play worked the first 2 times we ran it, and then once it gets on film, you know, they were ready for it. But again, I say release them, run outs, run ins, you know, get the ball up in the air and let them make plays. I don't think the tight end screen is a real popular play, and we've run it probably as much as we should.
Donner gets away a good punt. Vanalik lets it sail out of bounds. Got it across the 40, and the official is going to mark it at the 36-yard line. So that's where Seward will have it for their second offensive possession. The first one lasted 3 plays, all of them rushes by Peyton Else. A little over 80 yards already on the ground.
Yeah, I think you can scheme a little bit for Else and try to take that away, and that's really probably exactly what they want you to do, because they've got an all-state wide receiver, big kid too, and loves going up and getting balls. So Blair needs to stop the run, and then you're going to see that thing up in the air a bit.
That receiver is Vanalik. He's lined up here to the near side. They will toss it to Else toward the right side. Big hole over there. He's got some room to run. He's into Blair territory to the 40. Gets a block from Vanalik to the 35 and to the 34-yard line. That was opened up really well. We do have a flag thrown over on that far side, right where Else made his initial cutback. See if they're going to get one of his receivers for holding over there.
Holding right there. So.
You got it. Yep. So a big break there, honestly, for the Bears, because that would have put Else over 100 yards on 4 carries.
Yeah, well, that's not a stat we generally see. So actually Blair, the defense, even through all this these really good teams we played has held up pretty decent. I think Bennington ran away a little bit, but they've held up front pretty good for a young team. So they're just going to have to. It's not X's and O's. It's the Jimmies and Joes. It's the kids. But you can scheme around that a little bit too. And again, I mentioned it. That's exactly what they want is us to load the box, and then you're going to see the ball up in the air a little bit more. But at this point, we got to stop Else, right?
We'll see what happens here. Salyer's going to toss it to Else. Again, good block, and he's got room to run off the edge. He's across the 50 one more time into Blair territory, running over defenders all the way to the 41-yard line. Dan, really nothing fancy about that. It's just a toss here to the near side. They get the receiver to block the edge. They get the tight end blocking the edge, and the gap is there.
Yeah, I like I say, the same comments I said before. You got to stop the run. They're going to keep going to it. There's no sense hucking the ball down the field when you're getting 20, 25 yards of carry. So Blair needs to tighten that up. At
the 41, there's a play action. Salyer back to pass, fires it out into the flat. It's caught at the 40-yard line and bringing it back, trying to switch fields. That was number 21. That's Colton Green with the catch. Gain of about 6. That's up second down and 4. First second down of the game for Seward.
Well, I mean, it is, 2nd and 5. I mean, it's been our best defensive play, but again, I think Else only has so much wind in him, but I would not be surprised to see him go right back to 4.
Yeah, they may only pass it when their running back needs a breather, and they just don't want to take him out of the game.
Yeah, like I say, it's not really what we've seen out of Blair this year. I mean, they've been fairly stout for a young team up front, so we'll see if they can't tighten that up.
They call it 2nd and 5. They're going to fake the handoff to Else, and it's actually Salyer, the quarterback, who keeps it, goes straight forward inside of the 35 to the 34. Sets up 3rd down and about 3.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad they didn't hand off on that to Else because I didn't see a lot of movement going his way, but it might have just been their acute reading of the play, right?
Yeah, they knew what was coming.
It looked like Else could run for days on that, so we'll see what they do here.
Got to believe the Blue Jays coaches saw that as well. They'll send Vanalik here to the near side. There's the snap. They'll hand it off to Else straight up the middle this time. Haven't seen a lot of that. He's inside of the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's enough for a first down. All their success has really been off tackle and an outside of the tackles. It's the first time we've seen Else straight up the middle. Good hard run. Nice job by the Bears defense to wrap him up. 1st and 10 coming for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and I would imagine you as much as he's getting the ball, if you had a completely healthy Blaze Bauman, you could almost spy him a little bit and put a good tackle like that right on him. And I have not seen Blaze out on defense, so I think we're getting what we can get out of him, and I think they need him offensively, but I haven't seen him out on defense.
Salyer's going to throw it. Has a man wide open over there on 1st down. Pass is complete, and I think that's number 6. My eyes might deceive me, but is that Vanalik over there, Dan? You said he's going to be targeted. They ran a nice little route combination there, and there was no Bears defenders in the neighborhood with him. Touchdown for Seward. It's now 12-0, extra point coming.
Yeah, it looked like he ran a little out and up, and the defender kind of stayed with him on the out and chose not to go with him on the up. And again, big kid, fast, and that pitch and catch was easy. There was nobody on him. He was just getting under the ball.
Siebert will try the extra point, see if they can get the snap this time. That's much better. The kick is up, and it is good. So with only 14 seconds left to play in the first quarter, Seward has scored for the second time. They lead it 13-0. We will step back for 30 seconds. We'll be back on BSDN Live. Welcome back here once again to BSDN Live. Hayden Daggett and Colin McCabe back to return the kickoff for the Bears. They trail it by 2 scores now, 13-0, as Seward has it teed up at the 40. 14 seconds left to play here in the opening quarter. Both offenses have had it twice. Seward waiting for the signal from their kicker. Now they'll kick it away. Once again, it's another high kick. Handled by McCabe at the 25, out across the 35 before he's wrestled down. Give him probably about the 36, maybe the 37. One play here likely for the Bears to wrap up the first quarter.
Yeah, Blair looking to kind of get something going here, right? And I was going to say keep your defense off the field a little bit, but your defense, most everybody on your defense is also playing offense, but you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Right? Their offense seems to be hitting on all cylinders, so probably best to keep them on their sideline, right, and get some first downs and move the ball.
Yeah, some kind of a long sustained drive here as Leggett will send McCabe in motion. He's going to fake the handoff and toss it out to McCabe. Threw it behind him, though, a little bit, and McCabe finally just had to fall on top of the ball. That play actually was there. McCabe had some running room in front of him, but the pitch was a little bit cattywampus, and McCabe not able to handle it. That's going to end the first quarter. Bears will lose about 7 on the play. We will head into our first break. 2nd down and 17 coming up when we come back on BSDN Live. Welcome back here to BSDN Live from Krantz Field, ready to start quarter number 2. Bears behind the sticks, unfortunately. They're going to call it 2nd and 16 as we've switched ends. Ball at the 31. Leggett's going to roll out to his right, looking down that sideline. Pass is thrown and caught, I think, over there at about the 49-yard line. I think it was McCabe with the catch. Nice job there by Colin, and picks up a first down for the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it at the break. I mean, got a young quarterback. He's definitely a talented kid, right? Roll him out a little bit, and if there's nothing there, go get me 5 yards, right? And he was patient, saw it, and just a really nice pass. And he had 3 reads he could go to, went to the middle one, and nice play.
Got a first down. It's 1st and 10 from the 48. They will hand it off to Blaze Bauman, and Bauman hit by a defender before he could get back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of a yard on the plate sets up 2nd down.
Yeah, I mean, I think Blaze has given us everything he has. I don't think he's 100%. On the other hand, they're pretty stout up front, right? He had nowhere to go, and normally he'd dig in there and get you a yard, which doesn't change this game. But that's his normal running style. But it's tough when you hurt a shoulder, bruise a shoulder. Anything in that area, you think, man, if I pop somebody again, it's going to happen. But we'll see.
On 2nd and 11, Leggett's going to throw it, and he's forced out of the pocket. Nice job to escape the pressure, and now he's just going to tuck it and duck out of bounds. Too bad he couldn't find a receiver down the the sideline there. It's going to be a loss of about 5 on the play, and it will set up 3rd down. That's just a bit of a learning opportunity, I think, Dan, for the sophomore QB. Did a good job to keep the play alive, then just get rid of it.
Yeah, like I say, I don't think his mobility's in question anymore, right? He got out of a pretty good grasp there and got free. It looked like he could set up and maybe throw, but you're thinking, I don't want to just turn this thing over. You can also, since you're out of the pocket, right? You can just uncork one, as long as it's beyond the line of scrimmage, right?
Yep.
And just waste it. And like I say, learning moment, yeah, just kind of lose that thing on the sideline.
3rd down coming up. It's 3rd and 15 from the Blair 43. Hayden Daggett in motion. Leggett is going to fake the handoff, rolling to his right. Has a man downfield. Passes intercepted at the 25-yard line by the Blue Jays. Hustling it back into Blair territory across the 40, inside of the 30, and all the way down inside of the 30. I think it's number 10. That would be Brennan Burhoop, if I got the number right. Coming from his safety spot, moved over there and made a good read and a good catch.
Yeah, I mean, actually, folks, it was a pretty good ball. You throw into double coverage, and that's kind of what happens. And it's tough for a receiver on that particular route to stop and come back to the ball. I'd still be looking for some crossing routes and things where he can see and not everything over the shoulder. The only problem with on the shoulder if you get undercut underneath, which is exactly what the free safety did. And like I say, good ball, just ill-advised against that defense.
Salyer's going to toss it on 1st down. It's Peyton Else staying on his feet. Get down near the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 7, maybe 8 on the play. 2nd down coming up.
Well, I mean, that's better than 25. So anything that puts them in 2nd and 3rd down, that's what we're looking for. You gotta tighten this thing down, right? Either by player or by scheme or by both, right? So, and I'm sure the defensive coordinators are doing that now. And like I say, they want you to try and take away that run because they got number 6 and number 21 sitting out there waiting to catch balls.
Right.
So we'll see.
On 2nd down, they will take it to the air. Pass is caught over there on a quick wide receiver screen inside of the 10, inside of the 5. Number 7, I think, is the receiver. That'd be Sam Sagehorn. Picks up another 1st down for Seward. 1st and goal coming up.
Yeah, Sam, I didn't call out 7, so sorry about that. But yeah, we've seen a lot of action out of 21 Green this year, and of course we've talked about Volnek, and then all of a sudden we get another kid come across. A play that Blair likes to run, right?
Yeah.
It's just a really quick little screen pass.
They'll toss it here on 1st and goal to Else. He bounces it outside, gets a nice block, and he is into the end zone. Boy, that was executed really, really well again by Seward, and they have scored again. It's now 19-0.
Well, it wasn't designed to go there. Else again, if nothing else, he's a plotter.
Good
and
vision.
He's patient.
Yep.
He's got great vision. Cut that thing out, saw nobody outside, and went untouched.
Blue Jays will line up to attempt the 1-point try. Siebert, the kicker, out there again. Salyer will hold it. It's a good snap. Bears might have blocked that one, actually, but he got it through. It wasn't his best kick. Looked like one of the Blair defenders got a hand on it, but still went through the uprights. 20-0 your score. 8:57 left to play in the 1st half. It's all Seward so far. We're back in 30 seconds on BSDN Live. Welcome back here again to BSDN Live. Bears set to return another kickoff. They've got Daggett and McCabe back there. 20-0. Seward has had the ball 3 times on offense. That time they had a short field thanks to the interception that was returned deep into Blair territory. But 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns for the Blue Jays. There's a low squib kick. Nice job there by the Bears to fall on top of it. That was number 42, Jared Cross, covering up that squib kick. Pretty good starting field position now here for the Bears. But, Dan, it's been an interesting juxtaposition of 2 offenses. We've seen Blair with this look, unable to move the football. Seward at the same time. They get out there, boom, 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 6 points.
Yeah, I mean, we just haven't put up, we've lost the line of scrimmage this whole half. So whether it's a run or by pass, they've done real well. But the offense, Blair, kind of opened up this last drive. So let's see what we can do. On
first down, the Bears will hand it off. Nice job. They get it to McCabe. McCabe slips past a couple of tacklers and got it near the sticks. Going to be a gain of about 9. No, they're going to give him 10. Sets up 1st and 10 from the 46.
Yeah, technically you show that you're going to run a pitch, and actually it would be, it's kind of a reverse, right? So it doesn't get pitched to the running back. It gets pitched to your X or your Y crossing. Usually it cuts under. And I think that did. So Colin did a pretty good job of getting 10 yards out of it, too.
On 1st and 10, Bears will hand it off. It's Bauman this time. Nice job there by Blaze getting past the first wave of defenders. He's spun down by the ankle there right at the 50. It's a good job grabbing him low, and Blaze went down pretty quickly, but he did pick up 6. Sets up 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, his feet are good, right? So he spun, got you the extra 2 or 3 yards, and like I say, I think it should be some combination of keeping this defense stretched across the field, and you're going to need a little passing game, and you need to be able to run the ball a little bit, and you need to start getting back into this.
Bears could use some production from their offense here. They'll hand it off to Bauman again, and really nowhere to go. Good penetration by that defense. That's actually Vanalik, their standout receiver in the backfield that made the first hit on Bauman. Dropped him back on Blair's side of the 50 at the 49, so a loss of 3 on the play. It's going to set up 3rd down. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, while we talked about this diversity of run to pass, we went to the well a second time, and like I say, they're pretty stout up front. There's also a lot of bodies. You tend to have 7 or 8 people, right, in that box. I'm looking at 8 right now. So you're going to have to kind of get that ball downfield a little bit.
So Leggett's going to try. Pass is incomplete through the hands of his intended receiver. Pretty good throw. Logan Simpson was the intended target. I like the play design, but comes up empty, and it's going to be 4th down.
Actually, Brevin put that where that ball needs to be, right? He threw into a zone, and he put it where it needs to be. I think our receiver heard footsteps a little bit and took a step and shied away, but he's got to go get that ball, right? That's very catchable, and like I say, well-designed play, you just got to go catch the ball, right? You're going to get hit. It's football, so nice job by our quarterback.
Donner will punt it away. Vanalik to receive inside of his 15-yard line. He lets this one bounce.
Good kick.
And it takes a nice roll for the Bears. It'll be down right at the 15. So I would say best starting field position for Blair's defense so far here in this game. But a defense that has been really pretty impressive all year long, Dan. We have seen them spend, 75% of the game sometimes on the field, and they've slowed down a lot of offenses. So far, we haven't seen that tonight.
No, we haven't. And like I say, you can scheme it a little bit, right? But they'd love to throw the ball down the field. They'd love to get 60 and 70 and 80-yard pass plays. They'd love it, and that's kind of what they're baiting us into. But you got to stop the run first.
They'll hand it off to Else, and the Bears do stop it this time. He did get maybe 2 yards before they stood him up. So a short gain sets up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, and we just talked about it, right? It's scheme. So now you're committing more of your guys into stopping the run, and so Blair loading up the box a bit more, and a better play up front on that too, right? They didn't dominate the line of scrimmage, and they get 2 or 3 yards. That's what you need. Of course, you know what's coming, right?
Right.
Because number 6 or number 7 is going to get the ball, but But again, that's the way this game is played. You can't give up 25-yard plays. You got to make them, make that play.
They're going to toss it to Else. He's got room on that left side. He is all the way to the 50, looking for one more block. Couldn't quite get it. And he stopped actually just shy of the 50, the 47. He's a big tailback, Dan, but he's also really fast. He was at that second level very quickly, picks up another, 30 yards there and sets up 1st and 10.
Yeah, he runs a little bit like Brock Templer or Ryan Randall. Some people run kind of straight up, but their balance is so well. You know what I mean? They're hard to get down, and whether they're 180 pounds or this kid's listed at 200 pounds. Like I say, he's solid, right? But we call it gliding or plodding. But he's straight up, but he sees everything, and his vision is good. You just got to get a helmet on him.
They'll hand it off again here on 1st down. Else bounces it around the outside one more time into Blair territory. He's going to be knocked out of bounds near the 35-yard line. So another pickup of about 17, 18 yards. Once again, it's 1st down for Seward.
Yeah, really the first time we've seen Else change gears there, folks. That was just a simple dive to the odd side there, and basically bounce it outside, and we saw him kind of hit a different gear, and he saw green, and he got to it quick. So he really looks like a pretty darn good kid.
It's a talented tailback, that's for sure. On 1st down, we're going to play action. They're going to go downfield. Pass is intercepted.
Nice.
That's Hayden Daggett, who had positioned himself well right in front of Vanalik, and he picks it off at about the 10-yard line. They may give him a little bit of forward progress there, but a big stop for the Bears defense.
Yeah, we talk about ill-advised passes sometimes. That would have been an ill-advised pass, right? I mean, not just Hayden. It was double coverage, and the free safety had made it over there, folks. So there's technically 3 Blair kids defending 1 receiver, and I know he's a good kid, but it just the numbers don't work for you, right? Hayden actually made a pretty athletic play there, going up and getting that ball while you're running full speed. So, let's chew some clock up here and let's get up the field.
Let's see if that can spark the Bears offense. They're deep in their own territory now. They marked it inside of the 10, all the way back at the 7. They're going to toss it to Bauman here on 1st down. Blaze trying to get the edge over there on the right side, runs through a couple of defenders. Going to be wrapped up at the 11, so he'll pick up 3.5, maybe 4, sets up 2nd down.
Yeah, and actually, we're a little ways away here because they're down inside the 10, but it looked like the line really did a pretty nice job of getting upfield and engaging. I seen Tessendorf upfield, and like I say, it's going to take that type of effort against these quality teams, and I saw it on that play. So
that was one of the better blocked plays we have seen from the Bears tonight. I will agree with you there. Leggett's going to throw it here on 2nd down. A little wide receiver screen, and a good job there by Seward. They read it. They actually got that to Bauman as he had motioned out into the flat there, but Blaze got maybe 2 yards on the play. 3rd down coming up. It's 3rd down, and we'll call it 4.
Yeah, that was probably a block away from being a pretty positive play. And like I say, your receiver out there's got to block, right? And again, I know it's hard not to hold those guys like to grab, but you got a hand fight. You got to do something. You just can't let them run around and take the feet away from the guy that's trying to make a play. So engage them. Like I say, ask them what they're doing later. I don't care what you do, but you got to get out there. Don't hold them, but you got to hand fight. You got to make an effort.
On 3rd and 4 with 4 minutes left to play in the half. Leggett back to pass again. He's flushed from the pocket, rolling to his right, pulls the ball down, and he's going to get dropped all the way back inside of the 5-yard line. I think we had a player maybe lose his helmet too. Big sack there for the Blue Jays, and now the Bears are going to be punting from inside of their own end zone.
Yeah, I think Brevin's got a natural tendency to want to bounce to his right side, being a right-handed quarterback. And now they're starting to kind of spy that, right? So they had a guy out there. If he bounced, I'm there, right? The left side's wide open. It's just a little more difficult throw to turn your body around. But
right.
But the green was to the left. We bounced right into where they had defense.
Donner has to get this
kick.
one away quickly. It's a great kick. You're right. Vanalik pushed all the way back to the 50.
Come on, get on him.
Makes the first 2 men miss, however, and now we'll bring it up the sideline over to that Seward bench inside of the 35. He's knocked out at about the 33-yard line, I think, 32, 33. Good starting field position, but you're right. Great kick there by Donner, who was basically had his heels on the back of the end zone.
Yeah, folks, that's a 60-yard kick in the air with good hang time. Colin McCabe able to get upfield, just a lot of open space to make a tackle, but did force him out towards their sideline, and then able to make the tackle without a huge return at least. So anyway, pretty good coverage.
3:01 left in the half. We'll see if the Bears can come up with another defensive stop here. Salyer takes the low snap, sets up they had a wide receiver screen set up there, and a lot of running room, but the pass was dropped. That's Carden Garacki that had
Bo Myers
a shot at it.
No. Bo kind of sniffed that out, and you're kind of on an island there, right? You once you know they're running the screen, but if you see it early enough, he was able to get upfield before the quarterback can turn around and then throw the screen.
Yeah.
Bo was in his grill. So if you can get there quick enough, you can break that up. But, of course, they want you upfield, right?
Right.
But, again, he was there quick.
We've been told that Bo knows screens, so apparently he did
Lord.
on that one.
Did you really just say that?
I did. Nike can come sue me. They're going to hand it off to Else here on second down, and he gets right up the middle, all the way inside of the 20-yard line. Might have got it to the 10. That's going to be a gain of 23 on the play. Nothing fancy again. Good blocking, really, by that Seward offensive line. Else, with his patience, zoomed right through the hole.
Well, it can't be that good. I mean, for goodness sakes, you're just going to have to get your backers, right? I mean, they got to make plays. And, you know, if you got three linebackers in there and you got a guy running 30 yards a carry, I mean, you have to go tackle him. I mean, it's the way it is, folks. I mean, you can't have defensive backs making all your tackles. So those backers need to step up and get control of this run game and at least force them up in the air, you know, and let your DBs try to get something out of the sky.
Salyer's going to hand it off on first down. It's Else with the carry, bouncing around over there. Got it down to about the 5-yard line, so he'll pick up 5 on the play before he's wrapped up by half of the Blair secondary, pushed out of bounds, and sets up now second down and goal.
Yeah, you know, we talk about scheme, and other than sheer numbers in the box, I haven't seen anybody try to get upfield, try to take something away, you know, try to get in gaps, just try to disrupt before Ford gets the ball a little bit. We just haven't seen any of that.
Blue Jays are going to throw it here on second down, out into the flat. It is caught and diving for the pylon and getting there. That's going to be Vanalik, his second receiving touchdown of the ball game. And you told us at the beginning he's going to be a player to watch, and he now has 2 scores with 2:04 left to play in the half.
Yeah, looked like a kind of cutoff on our window here, but looked simply a little out route, right? Got in his hands and Hayden Daggett on the coverage, and he's kind of right there with him, right? And caught it, got hit, and again, just didn't have to cover a lot of ground, right, to get in the end zone. But you're going to have to play pretty tight when you get near the goal line, and like I say, just enough to get the ball in there and make a play.
The extra point attempt is up and good by Siebert with 2:04, as I mentioned, left to play in the half. It's Seward 27, Blair 0. We're back in 30 seconds on BSDN Live. Welcome back here to BSDN Live. Daggett and McCabe back to return. Siebert kicks it high this time. Colin almost dropped it. Now he has it at the 20 to the 25. A flag thrown, and this is likely going to be moved back as McCabe brought it out across the 30 to the 33, but we'll see what the penalty here is.
Well, generally that would be a block in the back or a hold on a return, but I don't think if they would glance up at the scoreboard and see it's 27 to nothing in the second quarter, maybe, they've done a pretty good job of bird dogging, plays like that, and I'm going, well, okay. Be real, be real, don't give an inch, right? Somebody brushes their back of somebody. It was only about a 6-yard return. I mean, so whatever. I didn't see it. I'm sure it happened.
Well, tonight when you go home and watch the video,
like
you always do,
I do, right? Just
then you'll be able to pick it out.
Just to critique you, Brian.
Yeah, well, you're not
Actually,
the only one.
I just love listening to you speak. That velvety tone.
Oh, there we go. Minute 58 left in the half. Bears ready to go to work, down 27 to nothing. Leggett back to pass. Now he's going to pull it down and tried to come to his left this time, Dan, but he's dropped before he could get going. And a little bit slow to get up, but he's up on his feet. Big sack there by the Blue Jays. Loss of 5 on the play. It sets up second down at 15.
Yeah, Seward calling a timeout. I think they would, boy, that's good.
Really trying to put it on you in the first half here.
Trying to let you have it. Yeah, whatever. I mean, goes around, comes around. So, Seward not a young team. Blair is a young team, so also with a new coaching staff. So make sure you make lots of friends and make lots of memories because, this thing carries out through several years. And you know what? Every year the new kids come in, the other kids get bigger, and, you get more juniors, you get more seniors, and you'd be surprised how this thing happens. It's pretty cyclical. And now I will give Seward credit. We are finally playing a team that has more homegrown kids, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're in Seward or you're in Blair, you're probably not going to casually get kids from the Lincoln and Omaha area, and that's just what we're seeing. That's really the state of high school football. Class A really has an issue with it. Class B, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of good players out there, and if they choose to want to go to a school, and apparently that's their right. It's available to them now. But you get out in the towns, and you get the homegrown kids.
Out of the timeout on 2nd and 15, the Bears elect to hand it off. It's Blaze Bauman losing yards on the play, and Seward will call another timeout as Bauman was. I thought he was forced out of bounds. The official said the clock will continue to run. Seward said, no, it won't. They'll call I believe they signaled a timeout. Minute 39 left in the half. It's going to be 3rd and 15. And speaking of seniors and juniors, we'll take this opportunity to recognize the group of young ladies that earlier today won 2 big games in the district final against Elkhorn North. The Blair High School softball team under head coach Jennifer Fangmeyer headed back to the state tournament where they'll be middle of the week. Next Wednesday, they will be back in action trying to bring home a title for the Bears. Yeah,
that was good to see. I knew they had played twice today, and I wasn't sure of the second game until you told me. So I think it was a 15-14, 8-6
you got
win.
it.
So great job, girls, and look forward to seeing them. Play I think it's in Hastings again.
In Hastings for the first couple of days, and if they do it right, they'll be in Lincoln for the last game. Bears are going to hand it off here on 3rd down. They get it to Bauman. Blaze is able to bounce it outside across the 20 to about the 22, 23-yard line. So he picks up a good chunk of yards there. Seward's going to call their final timeout. It's going to be 4th down for the Bears. Minute 28 left. So the Blue Jays, that's enough time. From what we've seen from them offensively.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, sportsmanship comes in all forms. So, like I say, do what you got to do out there. Like I say, it's probably pretty important you try to get another score in here before half. You'd like that around 35 or 40. I guess that would be kind of how we like to see it. So
that's the thought process, is what you're saying.
NSAA, they love it. It's just if you can put it on somebody. But I don't think we've played against anybody this year that would use 3 timeouts at 27 to nothing to get the ball back to try and punch one in. So anyway, that's good sportsmanship there.
They will send Vanalik back to return the punt. Luke Donner stands at about his 10, just under 90 seconds left in the half.
Yep, coming after it too.
Donner's had a couple of really good punts. No breeze to speak of at all here. It's another
Whoa.
another high
Nice
punt's going to
kick.
push Vanalik all the way back to the 35. He gets away from a couple of tacklers. Now he's got blockers to the 50. One man to beat, and he's past him at the 20, and he's into the end zone. That will be a 66-yard punt return by Jack Vanalik, his third touchdown of the evening. 2 receiving and now a special teams touchdown.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was kind of outkicked his coverage there, right? I think maybe McCabe got off his guy and got upfield. But again, one-on-one, when you're running full speed at somebody, especially somebody pretty talented, right? We let that go. But anyway, good play. Well blocked, sealed off on that backside, right? And he pretty much could high step it in the end zone there. So,
yeah, really just had to get past Donner at the end there, and Luke almost got him. But Vanalik, he's a big kid. They list him at 220, and he's able to run past it. They're going to line up. Looks like they want to go for 2.
Sure.
They will hand it off to Else, and he's into the end zone straight forward. So the 2-point conversion is successful after they had missed the PAT on their opening touchdown. They get that one back. It's now 35-0. 1:09 left to play in the first half. Let's step away for 30 seconds. We'll be back with the end of the first half on BSDN Live. Welcome back here again to Crayons Field on BSDN Live. 1:09 left to play in the first half. It's all Blue Jays so far as they lead Blair 35-0. Siebert has it teed up at the 40. Looks like Daggett and McKay back there again with the injury to Smutney. It's a pooch kick, or a squib kick, excuse me. I think the Bears are able to fall on it at about the 35-yard line.
Surprised
Nice
it
job.
just wasn't a straight out onside.
Isaiah Partita, if I got the number right, was that 32, I think, that fell on that? Hopefully I got it right. Good job there by the Bears to, really prevent Seward from getting the ball back on a squib kick. 1:04 left. The Blue Jays are out of timeouts, having used all 3 of them on the last possession there for the Bears. So now Blair will have it 1st and 10. See what they elect to do here. Leggett from the shotgun, 2 receivers out to his right, 1 man to the near side. He will hand it off. It's Blaze Bauman with the carry. Blaze is going to bounce it outside. He'll work his way down to about the 40, just shy of the 40, 39.5. We'll see if they spot him at the 40. Good run there for Blaze. 2nd and 5 coming up. Bears are going to try to work quickly. 2 receivers to either side of the formation as they hurry to the line. Leggett back to pass. He's looking to his left. Fires one out into the flat. It's going to be caught by Hayden Daggett. Daggett hit immediately, but enough for a first down. Knocked out at the 46. Pretty good throw there from Leggett, too.
Yeah, pretty good throw. Good throw, good catch, right on the sideline. And like I say, that's just kind of the action we were talking about earlier. Is you're just going to have to, if you don't have a lot of time to throw and the pockets collapse, and we saw that a couple weeks ago, you just got to kind of design some stuff that hits quick, and that was a good call and well executed.
Got the first down, and now it's 1st and 10 from the 46. Ball on the near left side hash. Leggett's back to throw again, looking to his left. Now he's going to step up into the pocket, and he's dropped at the 45-yard line, just shy of the line of scrimmage. Loss of 1 on the plate, sets up 2nd down. 20 seconds left to play in the half. We'll see if the Bears hurry to the line to run another play or if they're content to head into halftime and try and regroup down 35-0, and it appears that will be the strategy.
Yeah, been kind of tough going for Blair. See if they can get in there and kind of tighten things up a little bit. And like I say, I'm assuming Seward would like to get their starters, get them another possession or two, or four. I'm not sure how they're going to do things, but again, Blair's responsibility is to play, right? That's what we do. So it doesn't matter if you're young or not deep or whatever. You got to get out there and play this game. So we are where we are, and we'll come back second half and play a complete game.
There you go. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with the second half. We'll leave the cameras on. You can be entertained by the Blair dance team and the marching band. 35-0 your score as we head into halftime break on BSDN Live. Welcome back here to BSDN Live. We're ready to start the second half here at Crans Field. 35-0 is the score. The visitors from Seward with a 5-touchdown lead over the Bears. And the bad news for Blair, they got to kick it off to start the second half. Seward, as I mentioned earlier, won the opening toss. They deferred to the second half. Of course, Blair chose to receive the opening kickoff, and now they will kick it away, and we really haven't seen the Bears defense come up with a stop here, Dan, but a 35-point lead. This is going to be a running clock, I believe, from the opening kickoff. Bears defense needs to do something special early on.
Well, you're young, right, and you're playing good teams. Seward's impressed me more than the film I saw. I mean, it's one of those nights. It seems like everything they've drawn up has worked pretty well. But again, they're a pretty quality team, and I think they'll be in the hunt there in the playoffs. So it'll be kind of interesting. But yeah, you just want to come out and play a good half.
How about an onside kick to start it off? Bauman with a little chip shot, and it's scooped up by one of the guys on the inside. I think it was 17. Would that be right? Nate Murray. So a little bit of a trick play right out of the opening gates here for Blair to start the third quarter. They recover legally the onside kick, and they will start now with the football in Seward territory at the 47-yard line. Let's see now if the rest of the second half goes their way as well. Two receivers to either side of the formation for Leggett. Bauman's right next to him on his right hip. They'll hand it off. Blaze straight forward. Boy, he was one step away from busting that one. Got inside of the 45 to about the 43 before he's wrapped up. Second down coming up.
Yeah, pretty well blocked up front, and like you say, one little leg grab away from making that a much bigger play. But yeah, Blair on that onside kick kind of caught him off guard. Right, that their front line was running back, and
Yep.
it was a simple grab by Blair.
Well executed, especially they really had nothing to lose. They'll hand it to Bauman. Blaze is going to bounce it to the outside this time, off the left edge. Slips past a couple of defenders. He is inside of the 35, down near the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of about 10. Best run of the evening so far for Bauman.
Yeah, showed good speed, showed a good burst of speed there, cut up when he had to, and like I say, also pretty well blocked at the point of attack.
It's going to be 1st and 10 now for Blair from the 33. And you're right, Dan. That's probably the best, best block. Boy, I'm struggling here.
All of those.
It was the best blocking job we've seen by the Bears offensive line, and a lot better than me at getting that sentence out. They get it out to McCabe here on 1st and 10. Collins slips away from one defender, and he's inside of the 30 to the 26, maybe the 25-yard line. Good pickup there by the Bears. Second down coming up.
Yeah, again, just that block and that timing of the other receiver out there. He was a little bit better there, right? And Blair doing a good job of not grabbing and holding, but a little hand fighting there, and at least allowed Colin to get upfield and make that a good play.
2nd and 3. Bears inching closer to the red zone. They will hand it off to Bauman on 2nd down. Blaze with a little space over there in between the tackle and the tight end off the left side. He's inside of the 25 to the 24. It's a 2-yard pickup. Shy of the sticks, it'll be 3rd and 1.
Also, you kind of notice how he ran that, right? That's Blaze, right? So, I don't know. I think they all had a little talk at halftime and said, well, it's a good team, right? But every week's a good team. Come in and call timeouts, get the ball back, and all that kind of business. Well, fine. Let's go out and play. It's just a game of football, right? I mean, there's only 11 people out there. Go play hard. And, folks, they seemingly have come out and done that. So let's see if we can keep this thing going.
On the opening drive of the third quarter, Leggett will hand off to Bauman. Blaze high steps over one man and almost dove, but he somehow kept his footing inside of the 20 to about the 16-yard line. That's a great run. It's going to be an 8-yard gain. I thought he was trying to dive for the first down for a minute there, but somehow his feet stayed under him. Picked up another 3 after that. Great run.
Yeah, there's two ways that games like this go, right? I mean, I guess in any athletic competition, right? Sometimes you lose, right? And we've all lost, let's face it. Sometimes you just get beat. And we got beat that first half, and we got beat good. So it looks like the attitude's a little different here.
Yeah, you wonder if the message at the in that locker room at halftime is let's go win the second half. They hand off to Bauman here on first down, and Blaze is going to get maybe a yard. Again, trying that left side. That's where they've had the most success. He picks up one, maybe a yard and a half. It'll be second down.
Yeah, and this is, again, what we talked about the first half. You've got a mobile quarterback. I think the RPO stuff's kind of coming around for him a little bit. Just mix that in with Blaze and keep stretching the field and make him make plays, right?
This is really maybe the first obvious passing down we've seen in the second half. Let's see what the Bears do here with two receivers to each side of the formation. Leggett is going to look to his right, now back over the middle. Now he's going to roll to his right, still has the football, still looking, and finally dumps it out of bounds, and he has dumped himself back behind the line of scrimmage over into that Bears bench. A couple of Seward Blue Jays hopping up off of him there. The pass is incomplete. It sets up third down.
Yeah, it looked like he had the opportunity to run, maybe get, it wasn't wide open, folks. I mean, maybe 3, 4, 5 yards. Like I say, chose not to, but did get rid of it in kind of an artistic fashion there at the end. But it all plays the same, right? He just tossed it downfield beyond the line of scrimmage and then got his clock clean there, right on the out of bounds. So a little surprised. It's an easy place to throw a flag, but they kind of let it go.
A lot of times you do see it in that situation. It's third down now from the shotgun. They will hand it off to Bauman, and Blaze gets inside of the 15 to about the 13-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3. Not enough for the first down. It's going to set up fourth down and down 35-0. Likely Bears will be going for it here.
Yeah, and like I say, I would like to see that tight end utilized a little bit, simply because you're talking about a 6'5" kid. Now, this field's not laden with 6'5", 6'6" kids, so it gives you an area for the quarterback to throw the ball to, right? It's a little bit different on some routes. So I'm surprised he's not getting the touches or at least the throw tos.
Leggett's going to pass here on fourth down. He's going to look over to that far pylon. The pass is it held on to? It's hard to see from over here. No signal from the official. I think it's incomplete.
No, he batted it away.
Thank you very much. I couldn't quite see it, but I was waiting for the official to wave it off. Didn't see it, but it's incomplete. So a promising drive there for the Bears will end on fourth down, and they'll turn it over on downs with 6:05 left to play here in the third. They took almost half of the third quarter, but nothing to show for it. Now Seward is ready to go to work.
Yeah, batted it down and kind of took the occasion to kind of give Daggett a pretty good shot about 2 yards out of bounds. Actually, folks sent him out on the track about lane 4. And again, it's that kind of crap. You kind of wonder, I like to see him let him play, but I mean, you don't normally see your receiver laying out in lane 4, but that's when you're hit 2 yards out of bounds, you land on the track. I'm not quite sure. I don't know what the guy's watching.
Blue Jays will hand it off to Else on first down. He's straight up the middle, all the way across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Good pickup there. Yeah, Hayden is used to lane 4 in the spring. You don't often see him out there in the fall, right, Dan?
What's he doing? Oh. Yeah, another good run by Else. And again, either you got to scheme it, force them to the air, which, has not worked out that great, to be quite honest. But it kind of drives me a little bit batty to give up 25, 30 yards a run. I mean, the line of scrimmage it's kind of leaving us quickly. So I would anticipate you'd try to at least scheme that out of there and give yourself a shot at getting some picks and some other things. But I don't know.
Seward has really been able to run the ball whenever and wherever they want. Now they're going to throw it over the middle here on first down. Pass is caught at the 35-yard line. That's going to be number 7 again. That's Sam Sagehorn, second reception of the ball game for him. Good pickup there for the Blue Jays. First and 10 coming now from inside of Blair territory with 4:20 left to play in the third.
Yeah, just a crossing route, and actually well defended, and the ball was right where it had to be, and good pitch, good catch, and got tackled immediately. But that middle of the field, it's fertile, folks.
Little option pitch, and carrying it inside of the 30 to about the 26-yard line will be Else. Bears actually defended that pretty well, but Else able to get 8 yards, maybe 9, is going to set up second down and 1.
Yeah, what's a little disappointing is you just don't generally see a running back win every play, right? I mean, I don't care what level you are or what game you're in, you generally see them get stopped, right? And they win enough of them if they're a good running back that by the time it all averages out, they've had a good day. Folks, he's won just about every play he's touched the ball, and that's kind of odd.
A little bit of a reverse play here for Seward on second and short, and the Bears were all over it. They brought the wide receiver, maybe a tight end, back against the action. The carry will be credited to Carden Garacki, but Blair's going to drop him for at least a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, kind of a little inside reverse, not too unlike we did with McCabe
right
in the first half. It just was a little slow to develop, and Blair kind of sniffed it out. Actually, Bo Meyer had a shot at him, maybe 10 yards deep, right?
So it's third down now. 3rd and 2. Need to get to the 23-yard line for a first down, do the Blue Jays. Low snap, they're going to toss it to Else. Slips away from one man, but not the next two. He is dropped for a loss on the play the first time, Dan, to your point, where that tailback did not win the play. Blair did a good job wrapping him up, and it's going to set up 4th down. Likely Seward's going to go for it here. It's a little bit too far for a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, if one guy's beating you, then you got to take that one guy away, right? You got to have the bodies to do that, and then if they beat you with something else, they do. But
Sawyer's going to throw it there just like that, like you said, Dan, on 4th down. Just a nice little out route, and he had Vanalik over there, and he found him, hooked up, and it's first down.
Yeah, and that's the kind of action we've seen a little bit out of our quarterback, and again, it's little out routes, and they're always there, right? It's high school. I mean, it's really hard to cover somebody. You can jump that route, but obviously he puts a little snap on the ball. It's easy pitch and catch for him, and it's like I say, we're just going to have to kind of utilize such things ourselves. It's just going to keep the defense a little more honest, but it was well defended. He was tackled immediately. It's just beyond the first down.
Sawyer hands it off to Else on first down. Does a good job bouncing off the first contact. He's inside of the 15 to the 14-yard line. Gain of about 7, maybe 8 on the plate. Sets up 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, he broke maybe 2 or 3 tackles there, right? I mean, you're going to tackle somebody, you got to wrap up. You can't let him wiggle out of it and keep going, and he did it at least twice on that play to get up to get the 8 yards.
Yeah, he does have pretty good balance.
Yes,
We'll give him that. Another reverse type play here. It's actually a pass that is going to be a completed pass and a touchdown for the Blue Jays. That's Brennan Burhoop, who was coming across the formation. Little shovel pass from the quarterback. Burhoop had 2, maybe 3 blockers out in front of him. He went untouched into the end zone for a touchdown for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, Bo Meyer kind of sniffed it out. Was trying to move laterally. Was kind of mauled there, right? I mean, you maul till they get by you and you let go. And like I say, that isn't on the Seward kid. That's just how football's played now. But Bo giving a pretty valiant effort trying to string that thing out, but you can't get off somebody if they're grabbing you. So anyway.
Siebert will tack on the extra point. It is good. 50 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Bears now down 42-0. We'll step away for 30 seconds. We'll be back on BSDN Live. And we're back here again. 50 seconds, 50.1 to be exact, left to play in the 3rd quarter. It's Seward 42, Blair nothing. Blue Jays add to their lead. Nice drive, capped off by a Brennan Burhoop touchdown. Now the Blue Jays will kick it away. It's going to be Daggett over there at the 20. out to the 30. Hayden springs forward. Big strides by the Bears receiver all the way to the 40-yard line. Pretty good return, but Blair with some work to do now, and down by more than 35. Unfortunately, they'll be doing it against a running clock. The clock actually might expire before they run a play here to start this drive. Almost the entire third quarter gone with basically 2 drives, one for Blair and one for Seward.
Yeah, things moving along pretty quick. It looks like I'll get one play off here before we move to the fourth.
2 receivers to each side of the formation. Leggett from the shotgun. Bauman is in the backfield with them. They'll hand it off. Blaze reverses direction immediately in the backfield. Finds a nice little gap in the middle of that defense there and carries it across the 50 into Seward territory to the 48. And that will be the final play of quarter number 3. A 12-yard run there for Blaze Bauman. 42-0 your score. We're back in 60 seconds with the fourth quarter on BSDN Live. Welcome back here again to Crayons Field. Brian Abrahams and Dan Dahlgren with you. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bears to start the fourth quarter. Ball set down at the Seward 48-yard line. 42-0 your score as we begin play here in quarter number 4. 2 receivers to each side of the look for Leggett. Got Bauman in the backfield with him. They'll hand it off, and this time not quite as much running room. Looked like basically the exact same play. Bauman gets a yard, sets up 2nd down.
Yeah, it looks like Seward with, I don't know that that's a complete lineup of backups in there. I can see a pretty good group of their starters standing over there, including some of the names we've been talking about the last couple hours. But so it looks like a new crew in there for Seward and the starters maybe getting a rest this fourth quarter.
2nd down and 8 for the Bears here. They will send Daggett in motion. It's a toss now to Bauman. Blaze tried to bounce it on the edge out here. Spins away from one man, but stepped out of bounds. Shy of the 40. Actually, they're going to mark him out a little bit before that, about the 43, 44-yard line. So a pickup of about 3. 3rd down coming up. It's 3rd down and probably 6.
Yeah, Seward doing a pretty good job of pursuing. Kind of stretched it out to the sideline and just not much there, right? Even with who you're going against now. So, you're still probably going to have to work your playbook, right? I mean, you got a whole quarter to play here.
On 3rd and 6, Bears look to throw. Leggett's going to fire it out to the right side. Pass is caught. That's McCabe with the catch. Looks like he has enough for a 1st down. Nice little pitch and catch there again. Colin inside of the 40 to the 37-yard line. That will be enough to move the sticks. 1st down coming up for Blair.
Yeah, and really every time we've seen those little out routes and things out of a little bit of maybe even RPO, a little bit of play action where he's rolling, he seems comfortable with the throw, right? Yep. He's generally on target, and really against no matter who we've played, it's kind of generally been there,
right?
So it's just something you're going to have to kind of pull out and use a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see that integrated more in. I would say like the regular offensive series. They're going to hand it off to Bauman here. Blaze jumped around a couple of defenders, got it all the way down near the 30, call it the 31-yard line. Going to be second down coming up for the Bears, second and about 3.
Yeah, and going back to those little out routes, Hayden runs it nicely, and I'll tell you what, Colin McCabe is a nice route runner at this point, folks. I mean, he's generally there where he's supposed to be, and he's generally got a little bit of space. So
really crisp in and out of his cuts too, which makes him an easy target there. That ball is knocked out of the hands of Bauman as he was hit in the backfield. You saw it pop up in the air. I'm not sure if a Blair Bear got on top of it. I don't think so. Looks like it's going to be Seward football. Tough break there for the Bears as they were putting together one of their best drives of the game.
Yeah, just a little bit of penetration in the backfield, and it looked like Blaze kind of maybe looked to jump sideways a little bit and hop around it, and player just put his helmet right on the ball, and that's the side he chose to jump to, and it was just kind of an odd-looking thing, but popped straight up in the air, folks, and recovered by Seward.
Most likely we'll get a look at mostly second stringers here in this Seward offense, so bear with us as we try to get some names and numbers out to you. On the first play here, it's a toss to the backup tailback. If that's 10, that's Brennan Burhoop, who we've already seen in the game. No, 17, sorry about that. That's Maddox Jarecki with the carry. Bears wrap him up actually in the backfield. Lost 2 on the play, second down coming up.
Yeah, Seward's starters kind of congregated over there on the other side of the field, so good chance for some younger kids for Seward to get in there and get some snaps, right? And I would assume you'd see Blair, maybe not the same depth as Seward, but also starting to get some I can't say younger players, but different players in.
Yeah. Yep, they'll hand it off to Jarecki again, and he's straight up the middle, and once again the Bears do a nice job shutting that play down really before it could get started. You see quite a few members of the Bears starting defense out there, some subs, Jace Lantry out there, among others. They're on that defensive line. Third and long coming up here.
Yeah, good chance to see the other kids that are working hard all week, get out there and play and get some snaps.
On third down, they're going to throw it. That pass is incomplete over the head of Nicholas Wigman, the intended receiver. Sets up fourth down.
Hey, a punter. They did bring a punter.
First punt of the game for the Blue Jays.
I thought I saw him up at the snack bar, but I think this is the first time he's been out there, right?
Yeah, he really didn't have to do much in the first half. I think I saw him over there eating some cornbread maybe, but now
folks,
he's ready to go.
We did not know if they brought one, but he is out there now.
Snap is high. Punter did a good job going up to get it.
Not a bad kick.
And, yeah, actually got a really nice kickoff, and it's going to be returned by the Bears, brought back on the bounce just shy of the 50. That was Donner that brought it back as well.
Yeah, just they were kind of assuming that thing would just land, roll, and be touched, and took a nice candy hop there and foregrabbed it and went and got 3-4 yards. So
now an opportunity here for the Bears. Likely we'll see most of their offensive starters out there. Dan still trying to work on some things like you referenced a couple times. Young guys out there, let's let them go to work.
Yeah, I think you will see we'll see some subs here. I don't know how long Blaze will be in, stuff like that. It's kind of in hand, right? So chance to get some other kids in there. Well, there's Colin.
Leggett hooks up with McCabe on first down. He makes a couple of men miss, just needs a block. McCabe's still on his feet, dancing inside of Seward territory to the 45, 44-yard line. Nice little run after the catch there by Collins. Going to set up second down.
Yeah, and we had mentioned earlier, folks, but Collins really been playing some good football, and on both sides of the ball. So it's good to see him. I imagine his day might be about over too here, but again, he always does positive things when he gets the ball. Like I say, we love his route running. I think it's as good as anybody I've seen play on any team this year. Very crisp in and out of his routes and good hands, and so good kid.
Second down coming up here, excuse me, for the Bears offense. Leggett fakes the toss. He's going to go downfield. He's got Daggett down there. It is caught, juggling, but caught inside of the 15, down to about the 12-yard line. Hayden Daggett came in motion to start that play and then went up, ran a little flag route there, and a big pickup for the Bears.
Yeah, a little bit of misdirection there and a little bit of drop the ball. I don't got it. Bring it back up and put it up in the air. He actually might have underthrown it just a hair, but again, I think Hayden had about 7 or 8 yards on his guy, so was able to come back and grab it. So something positive for Blair. That's cool.
Nicely done by the Bears. They've got it inside of the red zone now, and they'll hand it off. This is Carson Fowl following his blockers and into the end zone. Easy play there for the Bears offense as they leaned on that defense, and Fowl, much like we saw from Else in the first half, just got in behind his blockers, was very patient. It's going to be, about a 13-yard touchdown run for the Bears.
Yeah, pretty well blocked up front, and as you said, I can't say any better. Carson just kind of followed his guys in and made his last break at about the 3-yard line and went untouched. So something positive for Blair, and it's good to see.
Blaze Bauman will attempt the extra point here for the Bears. It is up and good. 4:27 left in the fourth quarter. The Bears are on the board. 42-7 is your score. Blair will kick it away, but first we'll step away for 30 seconds. We'll be back with more Bears football on BSDN Live. Welcome back here again to BSDN Live. Bears getting set to kick it away for the second time here in this second half. 42-7 your score. Seward with the lead. Let's see if their upmen this time, Dan, are ready for perhaps another onside kick, or if the Bears are going to kick this one
I think they're
deep.
going to kick away. I think you know what, you needed something positive. Kids been working hard all week, and they did that. But I think maybe not.
Well, we get another onside kick, and it's now a pile-up, and the Bears are right in the neighborhood. But it looks like maybe Seward fell on top of it. Another really good onside kick there by Bauman and the Bears, but this time not able to corral it. It'll be 1st and 10 for Seward. 4:10 and counting left to play in this one.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. The optics are funny, right? We were talking about it at halftime. And we're going, when you're calling timeouts to get to 35 in the second quarter, I do what you want. I don't care. That stuff don't bother me as much as maybe other people. But the optics aren't great. And then when you're down 42-7 and they got their backups in, you're doing onside kicks every time. Optics get kind of funny, but I don't think it matters.
On first down, they'll hand it off straight forward inside or maybe right at the 50. It's going to be backup tailback again. That's Maddox Jarecki. He'll pick up 5. Let's talk about the rest of the season here, or upcoming games anyway, for the Bears. They will they'll go to 0-7 here. I think we're safe to admit that. But they will be taking on an Elkhorn High team next week that is also winless, 0-7. And then after that, it's on the road for their last game against Scott. What do the Bears need to do, Dan, to shore up to pick up a win against Elkhorn next week?
Well, some of the things we've talked about, I think you got to mix things up a little bit. And it appears that Blaze is going to walk out of here healthy, right? So we had a play run there, folks.
Yeah, sorry, that was Landon Pelster with the catch. I didn't set you up for success.
That's all right. I'll talk through anything. Don't worry.
Pelster with the catch. It's third down. 2:45 left. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have no problem not shutting up. But no, I mean, I think it's been a tough year for both programs, and again, I would say that Elkhorn has had a similar schedule, right? I mean, they're just brutal. It isn't that you're young, I mean that's just that's just the facts. And next year that changes. Maybe the year after that changes. It's just that you just simply have one of the toughest schedules that you could put together. And I think Elkhorn's kind of in that same boat. So we'll see.
Pass is almost intercepted by the Bears. Was that? I think that was Max Rump that had a chance at it. Through his hands and incomplete. 4th down coming up. And to your point, Dan, Bears are going to play 9 games this season, and well over half of them are going to be in the teams that are in the playoff hunt and really in the hunt for a championship.
Top
Absolutely.
5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look back
Brutal.
at Norris and Elkhorn North and Bennington and Seward and Omaha Scott. All of them will be playing meaningful football toward the end of the season.
Oh,
This punt is handled back by Donner. A flag thrown on the return. Probably going to be called on the Bears blocking, I imagine.
Now, I was a little critical when they called the touchy foul before. It was 27-0, I think, at that time. I'm like, seriously, keep it in your pocket, or my goodness. Now, that one, I think you had to pretty much call. So there was a
little more blatant?
Yeah, it was just kind of on the stage there where the runner was going, and it kind of ended up being a little bit of a holding the tackle. And that one, I don't care what the score is, you're just going to have to call it. That's something that the player needs to learn. So backing Blair up.
So they'll back them up inside of the 10. Ball at about the 8-yard line. Minute 34 left in the 4th quarter. They will start the clock, and they do. So under 90 seconds now left to play. One more crack at it here for the Bears. Down 42-7. Leggett's still out there running the show for the Bears. He's back to pass. He's going to be flushed from the pocket, rolling to his left. He's got all day to run, and now he's finally going to tuck it up across the 10, and he's flushed out of bounds at about the 17. So he did the right thing, Dan, I think, by running, but boy, he could have really taken off, I think, a lot earlier there and picked up more yards than that.
Yeah, and again, we say, oh, well, that's just something that grows. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a coaching thing too. Is you've got a kid who's pretty mobile, and do you want him just taking off all the time? And the answer is no, right? You want him to run the offense, but we've certainly seen occasions where we know he can run, and he's probably going to have to a little more these next few years. But again, it's when you do it and when you don't, right?
And he picked up a 1st down with his legs, and now he's got one with his arm as he threw a good pass over there. I think it's McCabe again on the catch. Boy, tough to tell, but hooked up nicely with his receiver across the 30. And another 1st down for the Bears, 18 seconds left.
Yeah, McCabe's simply not going down. I think he broke at least 2 tackles to get upfield. So, last play.
Leggett will throw it under 10 seconds. Fires it down that right sideline into coverage. A little bit of a push off there for Daggett, but that's all right. He makes the catch. He's inside of the 20, and he's going to be dumped. And that will be, as long as there's no flags, that will be the final play of the game, right? Both teams are headed to their sidelines. Seward looked every bit of the team we expected to see here, folks. They were dominant from beginning to end. They win this one. They already took the score off the scoreboard. 42-7. I didn't even write it down. 42-7. Thanks to all of our sponsors for helping us bring you this broadcast. Thanks to Martha. Thanks to Dan. And thanks to all of you for listening. We're back here one more time here in the regular season, or really one more time this season, I guess, to be honest with you, as Blair takes on Elkhorn next Friday. The Antlers will be here, and both teams will be looking for win number 1. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Brian Abraham saying so long. You've been listening to Blair Football on BSDN Live.
Good night, folks.